students, so now we are on our lesson 10, which is social relationships. Let us first define what is social relationships. So these social relationships tend to be less intimate with lesser self-disclosure involved, but may still be exclusive and may demand certain levels of loyalty as in fraternities or religious organizations, and to a lesser extent, loosely knitted social clubs like practitioners of certain specialized professions. So, bakit sinabing yung social relationships daw less intimate? Kasi kapag sinabi nating social relationships, you are dealing with more people. You are dealing with groups. Unlike with personal relationships, you are only dealing with few people like your families, like your friends, like your loved ones. But when we say social relationships, you are dealing with the group. Just like what they have said here, fraternities, religious organizations, pwede ring mga social clubs. Especially kung professional ka na, you are already joining a social clubs or professionals club. Middle and late adolescents usually find themselves in the company of their peers, usually from the school or the neighborhood. From high school to college, adolescents mature faster socially, and new lessons are learned, especially on how their social interactions affirm their self-identity, increase their self-esteem, and develop their capacity to mature relationships. So as you grow old, kahit hindi ninyo alam, you are already involved with social relationships. Kasi nga po, you are already having the relationship with your peers, relationship with your neighborhood, relationship with your school friends, 'di ba? Meron tayong tinatawag na intimate friends, meron tayong tinatawag na friends lang, 'di ba? So minsan mas malaki pa rin yung population ng tinatawag mong friends kaysa dun sa mga tinatawag nating intimate friends. Kasi yung mga intimate friends natin, nabibilang sila sa personal relationships. Now let's talk about how culture shapes many aspects of adolescent development. So katulad ng sinabi natin kanina, social relationships involve many people. It involves group. So yung culture natin, yung society natin, nakaka-affect siya as we develop as a teenager or as an adolescent. Culture is learned and socially shared, and it affects all aspects of an individual's life. Social responsibilities, social expression, and belief system development, for instance, are all likely to vary based on culture. Furthermore, many distinguishing characteristics of an individual, such as dress, employment, recreation, and language are all products of culture. So lahat ng bagay na kung ano yung pinaniniwalaan mo ngayon, lahat ng bagay na suot mo, lahat ng bagay na alam mong tama, lahat ng bagay na naririnig mo sa kapwa mo, they are all product of culture. Okay? So, ganyan ka ngayon, it is because of the culture. Tama? Culture has a strong influence on development, behavior, values, and beliefs. So, for example, family rituals and good communication have a positive effect on teens. So, parents who instill positive cultural values and beliefs in their children help raise their self-esteem and academic success. So, it is based on culture. How are we going to develop? So here in the Philippines, I can say that sometimes we don't have the positive culture when it comes to raising the children. Tama? Kasi when it comes to families, they tend to compare us. Parang naging culture na ng mga elders or ng mga parents na i-compare tayo. Tama? So for me, that is one of the negative effect of culture in our society as a Filipino. So, you are lucky. So, meron naman ding iba na na their parents have different type of cultural belief. So, culture has a lot of effect when it comes to adolescent development. That's why, minsan, nakaka-apekto rin kung paano tayo nakikisalamuha sa iba. It can affect also our social relationships because of the culture that we have learned as we are growing old. You need to remember that as you grow old, you are also growing the culture around you. So now let us move to community activity. How are you going to get involved? So getting involved in local community activities or volunteering can boost your confidence and self-esteem and help you build new skills. So this is still part of social relationships. So as you volunteer, as you get involved in community activity, that means you are already developing your social relationships. Here are some of the positive effects of getting involved with your community. So number one, we have the role models. So what is role models? So when we say role models, you can see that as you involve with community activities, you can come into contact with like-minded peers. So when we say like-minded peers, ito yung mga kasabayan mo sa mga gusto mo. So makakakilala ka ng mga peers na makakasabay mo sa mga gusto mong gawin. And positive adult role models other than your parents. So, as you get involved with your community, makakakita ka ng mga role models na adults as well. So, may mga makikita ka dito na adults wherein they can be your role models. Makikita mo sa kanila na, ay sana maging ganito rin ako. Okay? So, makikita mo na sana one day, maging katulad ko siya. So, they are being your role models other than your parents. So, interacting and cooperating with other adults encourages you to see the world in different ways. So, kapag kasi si parent lang or yung mga adults lang sa bahay ang lagi nating nakakasama, parang nagiging narrow yung mind natin. Pero kapag nagiging involved ka sa community mo, na-encourage ka na makita mo yung mundo sa ibang bagay. Tama? So, you can see the world in different ways. You can see the world in different aspects. Next is identity and connection. So, what does it takes for identity and connection? Young people are busy working out who they are and where they fit in the world. They try out different identities, experiment with different styles of dress, and might try out a range of different activities and hobbies. So, being involved in community activities can give you a positive way of understanding who you are. As a result, you might become to see yourself as helpful, generous, political, or just a good person in general. So when we say identity and connection, ano bang ginagawa niya sa social relationships? So if you are already getting involved, that means you are already know where you are or where do you fit in this world, right? Kasi kapag nagiging involved ka na sa community mo, ibig sabihin, alam mo na kung ano yung gusto mong gawin. Tama? So, pwede ka kasing maging involved through political. So, pwede kang maging involved through helping, through sports. Diba? You can be helpful in your own little ways. That means you are already finding your identity. Okay? And the next one is the connection. What is the connection? Ano bang ginagawa ng connection sa social relationships? So, in social relationships and community involvement, you already have the connection with other people. So, kanina, di ba, nasabi natin yung sa role models. So, makakakilala ka ng mga taong katulad mong mag-isip, makakakilala ka ng adult na pwede mong maging role models. So, that way, you are already having the connection. Tama? Pwede rin itong connection na to sa mga professional connections. Kasi maiisip mo na darating ang araw, gagamitin mo yung mga connection na ito. When you are already finding a job, finding a good school, finding a good university for you, that means you already have the good connection by finding the role models or by getting involved with your community. Next is skills. So, ano ba yung skills? So, as you get involved with your community, you can already use the skills that you already have. For example, you are already good in public speaking. You are already good in sports. You are already good in cooking. So, you can use those skills when helping. So, pwede kang tumulong kapag merong feeding program sa community mo, sa barangay ninyo, sa society na ginagalawan mo, or sa church kung saan ka involved. Tama? So, you can already apply that cooking skills with your community activity. So, kung sa politics naman, pwede kang mag-volunteer. Di ba? Meron tayong mga tinatawag na sangguniang kabataan. Tama? So, kung mga meron dito na kasama sa sangguniang kabataan, you can use your skills in politics as well. So, in that little way, you are already helping your community. In that little way, you are already helping your social relationship to grow and develop. Next is self-confidence, mental health, and well-being. Bakit kasali ito? So self-confidence, mental health, and well-being. So, as you get involved with your community, you can already boost your self-confidence. Why? Because you are already using your skills. You already have the identity. You already have the connection. And you already found the role models. So in that way, you are already boosting your confidence. So parang naiisip mo na ay may laban na ako. Kaya ko na to. I can already move forward. So, okay? So, you can learn to deal with challenges, communicate with different people, and build up your life skills and abilities in a supportive environment. Supportive environment, why? Because you already get involved. That means they are already supporting you as well. This is also good for your self-esteem. Katulad nga ng sinabi natin, hindi tayo magkakaroon ng self-confidence kung mababa ang self-esteem natin. So, they are always connected. It's also a great foundation for general and mental health well-being. Bakit po? Kasi nga po, ang napag-usapan natin last time, if you don't have enough self-esteem, or kung mababa ang self-esteem natin, matatamaan ang mental health natin or ang well-being natin. Right? So, if you already build your community activities, you already get involved, that means you are also healing your mental health. You are also helping your well-being. It can be very positive psychologically for you to have something that gets you involved. For example, sino nga ba namang kabataan yung gusto niya na nasa bahay lang, walang kausap, hindi alam anong nangyayari sa paligid. 'Di ba? So most of the teenagers nowadays, they want to get involved. So kasi yung pagiging involved parang isa siyang way para masabi natin na we are already confident, we already have the skills. Tama? We already have the connection. And you already build your identity. So, part pa rin ng social relationship yung pagiging servant leader natin. So, siguro madalas na ninyo naririnig itong servant leader. Tama? So, madalas na nating naririnig yung mga salitang servant leadership. We need to serve first bago tayo pagsilbihan ng iba. Tama? So, Greenleaf defined the servant leader as follows. The servant leader is servant first. It begins with the natural feeling that one wants to serve first. So, kanina nabanggit natin sa mga community activities or kung paano ka magiging involved yung sa politics, di ba? Or yung sa mga sangguniang kabataan. Tama? So, ito pwede natin gawin siyang example sa servant leaderships. So, hindi naman ibig sabihin na wala kang position sa barangay ninyo, sa community mo, hindi ka na pwedeng mag-serve. Tama? You can serve on your own little way. So, if you want to be a leader, you need to serve first. The servant leader shares power, puts the needs of the others first, and helps people develop and perform as highly as possible. So, dito sa social relationships, if you are already develop your social relationship with others, you are also being a servant leader by putting the other people first before yourself. So, you are serving them first before you serve yourself. Okay? He or she focuses primarily on the growth and well-being of people and the communities to which they belong. So, kasama pa rin sa social relationships ang pagiging servant leader natin. So, in your own little way, you can be a servant leader. So, you need to serve first before they serve you. Before the community serve you, you need to serve your community first. You need to get involved first. Always remember, class, we works a lot better than me. Kaya nga po tayo merong topic na social relationships because we are working with we.